Hello and welcome everyone to the 2023 Nantucket Open presented by Nantucket Disc Golf Club, Disc Golf 978, and Greatest Media Team. I am here with Harry Chace, one of the competitors you'll be seeing playing today. How you doing, Harry?
Doing great, Raivis. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, always. Sorry it was so wet on you there, but definitely one of the wettest tournaments I've ever ran, and probably one of the wettest that these players ever had to endure. We got commentary with Harry Chace, and to introduce these players, I am going to begin with Casey White. He's been looking for a win at Nantucket for a while. He's been playing here for 3 or 4 consecutive years. He has 22 wins, 176 events, representing Discmania. And then we have Craig Cutler representing Innova with 202 events under his belt with 34 wins.
We also got Steve Brinster here, legend from the New Jersey, New York area. Him and Craig actually flew out the day before, little quirk of Nantucket. Got to plan your travel, and myself came over the day before, competed in the skins match. Thanks again, Raivis, for the invitation there. Star-studded card here for round one.
Yeah, and you guys are playing for $1,500. Thanks again, Todd Rainwater and Nantucket Disc Golf Club. That's a lot of money. We added $5,000 added cash. So that's why you see some of these best pros and one of the best feature cards I've ever put together. I have New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and New Jersey representing today.
Have fun, guys. No reason not to have fun with this card.
Absolutely, and we got hole one here, par 4, 619 feet. You really want to throw a straight shot off the tee, bend it a little bit right, as we get our first look of these iconic Nantucket fairways, and Casey throws a gem of a shot to start off his tournament.
Yeah, he's taking his FD there, puts a great turn on it, and kind of is making a statement to everybody that it doesn't matter if it's raining or not there. And here we got Craig Cutler leaning on his destroyers a lot, his Steve Brinster's destroyers. And you can see he's trying to put a lot of turn on it, and he actually ends in a pretty good spot.
Myself, I'm reaching for an FD here as well. Looking to kind of match Casey's line. These fairways are really forgiving here, and the rain is definitely an interesting challenge for us to face. Normally this course is very scoreable, and we'll see how the rain affects our competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, things must be slipping out of your hands, and just the conditions were just torrential. I mean, it never gave up at all. Usually we get some rain and it stops, but today was just a downpour all day. You left yourself a little bit short and to the left side. I think you'll still have sort of a look to approach the basket, though. And here is Steve Brinster taking his signature destroyer and kind of gets caught up a little too high. He was going aggressive. I like that play. And like you said, open, wide fairways.
Yeah, this is a really cool style of golf. And really anything in the fairway is going to give yourself the ability to throw a long distance shot. Steve is going to get up there for an easy par. It's where you get in these thick areas where it gets tough, and that's really about the best shot I've got right here. And it's going to have to take par in the first hole.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you were that close to the rough there. I mean, it's very tough to get out of the rough. I mean, like you saw, you were positioned strangely. This averaging 4.28, kind of in one of the harder holes to start with.
Yeah, we see on Craig's approach there, that disc took kind of a bigger skip than maybe you normally see on a disc golf fairway, and that's because this course grass is cut really short. It's very flat. And we see Casey, let's see if he plays the skip here. Looking for it, and slides up there nicely. Should be in the circle.
Yeah, he didn't get the skip he wanted, but what are you throwing there?
I believe that's just a tactic, just to approach the green there. Pretty just kind of basic par to start off the day.
And Craig Cutler laying up for his par as well. And here's Steve Brinster for his birdie look. I like the bid. Just a little off. And Casey also looking for his birdie here. Great hit. How'd you like this feature card, Harry? Have you played with these gentlemen? I know you played with Casey. How about the other guys?
Played with Casey a few times. I've actually had the pleasure of playing with Steve a bunch this summer and last, especially at Warwick Championships. You know he's always going to make a lead card there, but let's take another look at this putt from Casey. Super great statement to start off the round, and you know he's going to have a good putting day with a good 30-footer on the first hole.
Yeah, that was a great putt and steady speed there, even in the rain. And you are tapping in your par, like you said. Nothing really lost there. I mean, it's just hole one. You got plenty of holes to go. And Steve also tapping in his par there.
Yeah, but with Craig tapping in, haven't played with Craig as much as the other two. Know a lot about his game, obviously, and excited to watch him throw as well.
Oh, okay. I'm shocked to hear that because I figured you might have played with Craig at Warwick. I know you leave statements there every year. And here's hole two, definitely a gettable par three. Even in these conditions, you sort of have to hyzer out or kind of get lucky through the middle. It lands a little left, 302 feet. And here is Craig. Getting into the green.
Now, this fairway certainly looks large on camera, and if you come here and play, it's kind of a simple hole, but this rain is really going to make this tee shot pretty imperative. And a little bit of an early release there, just trying to struggle on this hole a little bit, and another not ideal drive.
What were you throwing there, Harry? Just curious.
That was the Nudist Mania MD5.
Yeah, this whole average 3.1, 302 feet. You're going to be getting his T-bird here. Steve Brinster has his own signature lineup of every disc. Even Craig Cutler throws his discs, and that's why. Great shot there.
Another look here on the replay. Brinster with the signature hop.
Yep.
And slight flip up there. Perfectly shaping this fairway. And that famous Nantucket skip.
It's such a beautiful fairway, and John Huck, I mean, I just love his designs. He has the par threes, he has the challenging par fives. Kudos to him to making one of the best courses in Massachusetts and in the country, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. This course is a blast to play, even in the rain. And a little soft run right there. Craig and Steve were calling this course vacation golf, and certainly would have been more fun without the elements, but
and this was
a good time still.
Was this your first year in Nantucket?
Yeah, definitely. First year on the island, first year playing the course, and definitely hope to come back. Super fun trip.
Absolutely. And here's Steve with his two, marking his CTPs, the signature CTPs at Nantucket. You get swag, and you get to choose from some pretty cool stuff. And a tap out three for Craig. I know he's not too happy with that spit out, but these baskets, man, in the rain, plus the rain, it's eventually going to happen to almost every player. And here we got hole three, 275 feet, signature, left to right shot. Steve's going to be taking something a little more flippy, just doesn't get the turn, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is definitely the common play here, and oh boy. Casey just turfs a forehand here. I've seen him do that a few times, especially in the rain. And I too struggle with forehands in the rain. I normally avoid them completely, as just a little bit of moisture on my fingers. Throwing a forehand is really tough for me. And we'll see if Craig and I can avoid the same problem that he had.
And he's predominantly forehand, I would say, too, right, Casey?
I don't know about predominant, but he certainly has a pro-level forehand where he can pull it out in a hole like this that's left to right.
Absolutely.
And can rely on it. But, yeah, I mean, slipped out for him there, and you see I'm keeping extra attention on my disc being dry and just throwing immediately and kept the disc dry enough.
Yeah, you're getting a good skip there. And Craig was throwing his Steven Brinster Destroyer. He got up there as well. You guys are going to be having some birdie looks. Casey swinging it wide, kind of getting stuck in a weird position behind that tree. We'll see if he can capitalize behind that. And Steve Brinster's got a signature hop step, but also a signature hyzer putt. I love it.
Yeah, his putt has always been the thing that has prevented him from being super, super top tier. We know how solid he is off the tee. But when he gets his putt going, he is nearly unbeatable. As Casey able to save the par.
Yeah, great putt there, underneath some branches, and saving the par. This hole averaged 2.95, so almost a must-get for the field here. Nice putt there, Harry. Through the V, it looks like.
Yeah, right through the tree. Finally able to get on the board, and Casey, Craig, and I all had the same exact putt. They all chose to straddle out. I was a little bit closer, and Craig,
wow,
unable to get the putt going early for him. And obviously, it's wet and everything. You know, we know Craig's a great player, but I mean, just look at that coming down. It's more than just a drizzle. We'll see if Craig can correct.
Yeah, Craig is 994 rated. He's obviously a top-tier player, and his highest rating was back in 2022, just last year. He was 1013, actually. So, very solid player, and just getting some mishaps on the first few holes here. Steve Brinster, also a former USDGC champion, 2013, I believe.
Yep, that's correct. 10-year anniversary this year. Congrats to Steve. One time.
Pretty awesome, though, to say USDGC champ. And here you are. You're ripping. Is this a PD?
No, this is the new S-Line DD1, and I've been loving it for this hole.
Oh, my gosh,
Threw it in the
Harry.
skins match about to the same spot, and definitely check out the S-Line DD1. Yeah, super great disc.
All right, we have to see a replay here because you're putting, what, 110% into this one?
Wish I could. I mean, the rain kind of prevents that. And just a smooth, easy distance from the DD1. I'm used to throwing DD3s. It's a little flippier, a little easier to control. And still with the stability to push down the fairway, though. Super happy with that shot.
I want to say Dan is at 460, so you might have just thrown it 470 in the air there. And what a roller play by Steve Brinster here. I love this.
Yeah, Steve is a roller wizard. You'll see him break it out, and that's just how good he is. It's cutting back. It's straightening out. It's perfect.
It's still going.
One of the best roller throwers I've ever seen in person. Maybe the best.
That was an AJ Destroyer, Avery Jenkins, and he still has them. And Casey flipping on probably a PD or DD3 there, actually.
Yeah, a little turned over into the ground. There was a little bit of a headwind on this hole, and I think it's tough to trust the hyzer release when you're not super comfortable with it in the rain, and I think he just pulled it a few times.
I love that shot by Craig Cutler there with his Destroyer right down the middle. He's going to have a great look to the basket about 275 feet. That's the second one we've seen from Casey, actually.
Yeah, I've got to imagine it's got to be the wetness, and we'll see if he can recover from that because there are certainly a few more forehands to be had on this course.
Yeah, a little bit of misfire for Craig there. You can see that he was trying to go up a little bit to the left side, but just let it slip out a little bit. And now here's Steve for his 2 look. Oh my goodness, he just has a simple putter look up there for birdie. And you're taking your MD5 again, or tacked it there?
Yep, that was the MD5, looking for that Nantucket skip, and actually I caught a stick in the fairway.
Ugh.
And kept me from parking the hole, but I'll still be in the circle. Chance for birdie.
Let's see if you can make that one. Great run by Craig there, taking his par, settling for par, which is totally fine on a hole like this, 650 feet. And here's your birdie. Great putt, Harry. steady and over the rim.
Yeah, feeling the vibes on the putting green. Match the shirt to the basket band. That's always a good combo.
Love it.
And happy to be 2 under in the rain.
I think you were pointing to the stick there. And cleaning up his birdie, Steve Brinster getting rewarded for his aggressive play. Clearly that roller worked very well for this hole for him.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Steve is, for him, the roller, I'm not even sure if he would call it aggressive. That is nearly his most comfortable shot, which is crazy. It just shows how much control he has.
Absolutely. And moving on to the first par 5, absolute rope by you with the PD. Hole 5, 811 feet. Definitely a daunting hole after dealing with some more open shots. This feels pretty enclosed in here.
Yeah, this is a beautiful par 5. Wooded, but still a defined lane, as we see Steve and myself hit that. Another look at Steve. Going with the 12 speed, low to high, great nose angle, and just keeps the disc pushing.
Just absolute perfection on that hole. Great rips by both of you so far, showing the rest of the card that how you're going to have to birdie this or eagle this one is the only way to do it like that. And Casey's going to match you, taking a little bit more of a right-hand side approach. Getting a good skip, though. That was his D-line FD. I'm surprised that didn't flip harder.
Wow.
And Craig, everyone's taking this right side hyzer, which is a smart play. I think the left side is just a little too messy if you get a bad kick there. Craig's also doing a turnover backhand here, landing right in the middle and opting for the par play rather than going aggressive. Meanwhile, Casey says, nope, I'm going to go aggressive. And he gets a great roller play here.
Yeah, I think that's his D-line FD on the roller there. And I believe that's a Vanguard for him off the tee.
Thank you.
But a great shot there.
That would make more sense, yep.
Again, Brinster roller.
Jeez.
He actually didn't get that one to... Yeah, he didn't get that one to turn as quickly, and I'm looking to correct on his mistake. And that will be really good.
Wow, putting yourself in position for an eagle, which you don't hear about that too often on this hole. Wow. And then this is the shot that I was really surprised to see, because I knew Craig Cutler could throw far, but I didn't know he had a sidearm like that. That was an amazing shot with this destroyer.
Yeah, you'll see his destroyer sidearm a few more times throughout the round. I was impressed by it too. Like I said, haven't played with Craig that much. And he said it's actually something he recently added to his game, was a distance sidearm. Has never really had it for the last few years of his career and has really been leaning on it and loving it.
I mean, if you want to get better, you have to have that sidearm this day and age. And that's a great out by Steve there. I know he doesn't really prefer to throw sidearms either. Casey, this is for his third shot, looking to tap in the birdie. And Craig's looking to just float one in there, take his birdie.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, if you're a new player, pay attention to the way Craig throws his up shots. All nose up, sitting right by the basket, and not going anywhere. Super good.
Absolutely. And take a look at how this guy plays this hole, because that was a fantastic eagle, my man. That must have felt amazing.
Oh, it super did. In the rain, still able to card the 3, and with a highlight putt, too. The straddle stepper, just working, and right in the heart.
Were you thinking about that tree at all, or you were just focused?
There was a tree to the left of me, I think is why I straddled out. But yeah, that tree on the right, that's not even there.
Okay, that's awesome. That's super focused. And that was this whole average 5.05. So you just took 2 strokes on the field, Harry. That is pretty neat. And tapping in his birdie. Well done there. And Steve Brinster also getting his birdie. Great playing by you guys on that hole. Almost too easy. And another signature par 5. I actually prefer this one over the last one. Shoot into the field shot here, and that was a great rip by you. What did you throw there?
Same disc as before, Grady Shoe PD. I lean on it a lot, especially in the rain, and good shot for that one again.
Ooh, what a reaction by Steve there.
A little bit of trouble with the root there, but another just textbook Steve shot. Slight hyzer flipping and just pushing, and Casey trying to match that line, just misses that tree and is getting that ride to the left as well.
Oh, he got way up there. That's like the perfect shot, I think, because if you cut 2 left, you're just going to be cut off for that second shot. Then you're going to be stuck behind potentially trees a little bit.
We'll see where Casey ends up. There's a little bit of a pocket of trees on the left that he and I both may have skipped to. I think he was trying to push it a little bit straighter, but we'll have to see.
Craig in a great spot here, taking a hyzer approach here. Although he might be stuck trying to get too much around that one tree, yeah. That's classic Nantucket. Look at these trees. I mean, you don't think they would get in your way, but they do. Love this approach by Steve here. That's textbook, getting around that bend.
Yeah, Steve there going with the teal Calvin Destroyer, famously overstable. Still showing off that he's got the arm for those big discs and gets way up there. And I was trying to take a similar line, couldn't quite get the push, as you see Casey and I having to deal with these trees. And he actually goes to the flex forehand and unfortunately undercommits. It's going to be way in the sticks and trees, and that's kind of why I went to the backhand. I wanted to fade away from it rather than possibly fading into it. So trouble for Casey on the 6th hole here.
Yeah, and that's a good way to play that. And like you said, you were right next to each other in terms of the lies. So that's interesting that you both kind of went different routes, and you see what happened there. This is, I believe, Casey pitching back out. I don't think I've seen that in a while from any pro player, but that was the only play he really had. And that would be his 4th shot, so he's looking at par, maybe bogey at best. And this is your, I believe, your 3rd shot?
Yep, 3rd shot for me. Really loved it out of the hand, and I'm going to be, unfortunately, with a tricky putt there, tucked on the right. A few trees in the way, but still in the circle after 3, not too bad. And Craig, I mean, this is a difficult shot, but especially in the rain, but definitely one he wants to have back. Dead straight at the basket. And luckily, he's going to have another chance on the very next hole.
Absolutely. I find it interesting that the hole prior to this is longer, same par, but this hole averaged higher, 0.2 strokes higher, even though it's more open, it feels like. That's interesting.
Yeah, I would guess it would have a lot to do with the blind landing zones and people getting aggressive, kind of like Casey did. There's another birdie putt, and
wow, you can't even see that.
Branch. Yeah, I know. Thought I had dropped that in, but if you thought an eagle on the last hole was impressive, how about an eagle on this hole? Who else but Nick Economos carding the 3 on hole 6?
Wow.
I would love to have seen that.
Yeah, and going back to hole 5, you were the only eagle for the tournament on that previous one, so shout out to you as well. But yeah, shout out to Nick Economos on this hole. I mean, that's just amazing considering that it averaged 5.33. And so you're settling for your par. You're okay with that? Moving on to hole 7. Now here we go. Here we moving on to Turkey Alley, where John Huck famously designs 3 holes for you in a row, where you can either continue a great round or at least pick it up from where you might not be doing so hot. And that's a perfect textbook shot by Steve there.
Yeah, absolutely. Steve is continuing this hot round. Going to move to 5 under through 7 holes. And yeah, hole 7 here. Shortest hole in the course, easiest hole in the course, averaging at 2.59 even in the rain. And definitely a must-get birdie.
I love what you said during the skins match, which you can check it out on GMT channel. You were like, this hole is like hole 11 at Willow Valley. Because it really is. That's probably what you think of when you walk up to holes like this in terms of just straight, simple shots, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I definitely find it's easy, especially on a course that I'd only played once before the day before. If I can relate a hole to a hole I know really well, and then I can kind of rely on muscle memory. I've played hole 11 at Willow Valley a ton of times. I know what the shot feels like. And if I can just throw that shot, I can rely on muscle memory, even though I haven't quite had the history of this course.
And that's a great pro tip for anyone. So, try to recreate something that you're used to at that point. It should be muscle memory if it's your favorite hole, favorite shot type. And as you can see, all 4 of these pros really enjoy simple straight shots like this as they're cleaning up their birdies, and we might even get a star frame here. This hole averaged the easiest, as you probably suspected, 2.59. So an absolute must-have birdie on the card.
Yeah, I wonder what it would average without the rain. I mean, it's got to be in the 2.25 area.
Absolutely.
With, obviously a really good field here as well. So.
Yeah, 62 pros. That's a lot of signups for Nantucket. Oh, Steve getting lucky on hole 8 through the gap. It was a great looking shot either way and well executed. That was going to go to the basket either way. So let's take another replay here. No hop needed. Signature standstill right at it.
Interesting. Something I've never actually noticed from Steve, a really good standstill thrower. But he actually lifts up his right leg and plants it again while he throws. Maybe something to try out in the future. I've never seen that.
Oh, there you go. You're standing still in the puddle, looks like. Oh, jeez. And, not getting good grip there. I'm sure taking the splash there.
Yeah, I wasn't really used to standstilling this hole, and unfortunately with the elements that we had, you could see the puddle. I didn't really want to run up into it, so went with the standstill, kind of over-torqued it, and going to be in a real tough position.
And you were throwing your method, I'm assuming? There?
That was a P2.
P2, okay, sorry. You're looking to Heiser back in there. Just went a little deep. It looks like you got that Nantucket skip, probably what you weren't looking for on that one.
Yeah, I was trying to skip it more to the left, and it actually did land around 35 feet, and then took a bad route and rolled all the way to hole 9's tee pad. So, not going to even have a look to save the par, and going to be carding a bogey on Houck's famous Turkey Alley, which is never a good thing.
Oh, man. You spoiled it for us now, but we know now that it can be tough if you're not in the right spot there. So Craig Cutler laying up for his par. Casey getting his par after getting a little lucky with a tree putt there. And here is Steve tapping in his birdie after laying his rock up there. So yeah, taking your first bogey, I'm sure you're a little frustrated, but you know you have at least another birdie chance coming up, which is pretty cool in my opinion, and a lot more after that. So here is Steve on hole 9, averaging just a 3.0. Let's see how they do here.
All right, we got Casey again going to the forehand. Let's see if he can correct.
He definitely got it higher, and that looks very good. Oh my gosh, that was almost an ace.
Yeah, well done from Casey there. You see, he trusted the nose angle a little bit more. May have gone with even a little bit of a flippier disc, as we see this came out on more of a flat to hyzer angle and stayed straighter and longer. So Good correction there from Casey. You rewarded with it in the circle putt.
And I believe that was his FD3. And Craig taking his destroyer and swinging it way right, getting a great look to the basket within circle one. Here you are, Harry. What are you throwing here?
It's a new Discmania C-Line FD3, and able
Pretty.
to trust the width on that one and get into the circle as well.
Is that one of the new blow ones, or?
No, that's the red C-Line one. I believe it was a mystery box last year and was on shelves recently, so I picked a few up.
Nice. Steve leaving a little short, but he's okay with that because he's shooting -6, which is super hot through 8 holes. And here you are for your birdie look. Continuing the great putting. That's been the theme here. Great putt there.
A little replay here. You see that flag blowing right to left. We know this should knock down the putter, so I'm aiming kind of high, right at the band, give it the commitment, and drop straight in.
Interesting note that you're reading the flag a little bit there, too. So you like a flag on a basket?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And here's Craig for his birdie. Just leaving it a little high. He was a little short before, but that was dead straight in terms of not going to veer left or right in terms of the spit out there. Sorry,
He certainly had the same thought as me, aiming high and hoping for the drop, and just didn't quite get it.
Yeah, and Casey looking for his 2. Bang. Great putt there. This hole averaged, like we said, 3, so not a must get, just a simple, good hole to finish Turkey Alley. And that wraps up the front 9. We got Casey at 3 under, Craig Cutler at even, Harry at 5, and Steve Brinster at 6. We got a lot of exciting action for the back 9. What were your thoughts on that one, Harry?
Yeah, it went super smooth. This course plays really well, and although we have par 5s and par 4s, it still plays pretty quick. So happy to get on to the back 9. Hope you guys will join us. It's going to be exciting.
All right, stay tuned, y'all.